we've got a glimpse now. I don't know what to call it. Dark Percival, evil Percival, whatever this mysterious side to him is, where he's like seeing names and stuff upside down. I guess he's real thinking of. Like, I'm very curious to know what some of the the actual context behind that is. You know, it's a mystery, obviously, of it's the unknown of Percival, but I really want to know, like, if he, like, what exactly is going to be the tie-in to, like, you know, the stuff with the demon languages and stuff, because I don't think it's just going to be he's a demon. Mainly because, like, obviously Meliodas, and it's already Meliodas' thing. I really doubt that Nakaba would do the same thing twice. I just don't think it lines up. My guess is it's like he's maybe some form of creature that is, like, some way connected to the other clans. Like, if you think about it just like an idea, it would be like maybe like if not the goddess clan, because obviously they're their own thing, but maybe if there was something before them or something kind of like additional, maybe like besides the, like, out of like the big clans, besides the goddess and demons, there was a smaller one that was important, but just not as known or whatever. Or, you know, maybe he's something artificially made. Who knows? But I'm kind of hoping there's some form of connection between them, because that would make sense of like why his power works with the people around him, but also why he's like learned languages and stuff just from. I can't remember if he just knew the demon language or he heard it and was able just to learn it. I'd have to go back and look at those chapters, but I think regardless, the mystery behind it and like why Percival is, you know, connects to these people is going to have, like, you know, the big tie into his character, because Nakaba went out of his way obviously to show, you know, these are, you know, they were a bunch of demons and stuff that, you know, looked like a bunch of the other evil demons, but they were, you know, passive and they didn't really want to fight or do anything. So showing that and then, you know, humanize it. I mean, we already know that there were good demons, you know, ones that weren't just kind of like deranged and crazy. But I think that there was a little bit extra level of effort that was good to be put in there to use some of the, like, use the red and the gray demons, because those ones, like, I figured they were more of like more mindless and more kind of just like the generic, you know, big crazy demon running around. So like seeing some of them were more peaceful, you know, did an extra little layer onto, you know, under their species. I figured maybe it was like kind of like with Bleach, like you have hollows and so there are some good Arankars, but really like anybody outside of that, they were pretty awful. Like there's just like a small sect when you reach like the more humanoid versions that, you know, might possess that level of like humanity still in there. Either way, we see, like, because I didn't get the last week's chapter, but like the one to Cheon, that guy is super suspicious. I thought he was weird last week, the way that he was like answering Tristan, where he's like, oh, okay, with like this blank stare. And we see in this chapter at one point, Annie looks over at him and sees that he lied at some point. So like that's the big extra thing of like this guy is suspicious. There's something weird about him, and like I'm guessing that he's maybe like actually on Arthur's side, or if he is. They're like right now, the one thing right now that we pretty much have to have in the series, because like we have there are some other enemies and whatnot as we've seen along the way. There's kind of additional enemies, but unlike a lot of other series, the series really only right now has the, like, everything around Arthur and stuff as the enemies. We don't know other bad guys out there. I assume there's going to be other big enemies, but like I just don't really know right now how like Four Knights is going to integrate them into the story. It's because like we haven't really seen much outside of Britannia in the Seven Deadly Sins world. We know Japan exists because of Nanashi, but like who knows like if anybody's out there going to be that powerful. I think that this series has a really good opportunity to kind of like showcase that, because with Seven Deadly Sins, like you could have had, you know, the characters go out at other parts of the world and run into more powerful threats, but I think it'll do more for the series if, you know, going out there we use some of like the main cast members to show a lot of that from like the lower levels, just because you have to obviously, like, going off of the Seven Deadly Sins whole cast, where the series kind of had that, you know, had the ending point before Four Knights happened, you would have to follow up to make the enemies like considerable threats. They don't have to all be as powerful as the demon can, but you have to make sure that like there's there's going to be opponents and enemies for everybody. There's at least enough that they're going to be a threat. Which obviously, like, that escalation can get difficult when you get to certain characters and stuff, when you get past them, rather. Like, you have to have a good reason when you have introduced characters that are more powerful than the previous ones, if the previous ones were, like, a super big deal. So, we'll see exactly how that all plays out. Tristan, I liked Tristan on a small amount of this character. Like, the small amount we got his character. His design does look better, older. I said that when we first got his character shown at the end of Silent Only Sins. I remember saying, I think it was like, people who hate on his kid design can't like his more grown design, because I figured his design would look better older, because he just looks so weird young. But I feel like it was just kind of like to put that design on him, and it's one of those ones where it's like, I have his older design looking well, but I'm just gonna draw him pretty much the exact same but small. So there's that. His swords are really bland. He doesn't have anything really cool on him, but I think that's kind of the tie-in. Like, Lancelot doesn't really have any cool weapons either, so I'm guessing they're all gonna get sacred treasures, because we don't know what's gonna go on with Percival and Ouroboros. And honestly, I feel like he's not gonna have the whole dragon coffin key sword for that long. Like, my belief is that's gonna get taken at some point or lost, and he's gonna have to get a different one, unless he gets it upgraded into a sacred treasure. That's like a whole different thing. But I'm willing to bet that there's going to be, like, good items being given out soon. I feel like it'd be really weird if Meliodas doesn't continue this by giving them good items, especially after seeing stuff like Lancelot use Donnie's dagger, which also Donnie now not having a dagger, so, Donnie needs a weapon too, but Lancelot's weapon breaking, well, Donnie's dagger rather, breaking after the attack. So it showed that, obviously he's going to need something better to output his level of power later on in the series. There's a lot around that I have a lot of stocks, because I'm a sucker for when characters get unique weapons. That's every series. One of the original things I loved about Bleach is just like everybody's weapon at least some point becomes unique looking. Sweet. I'm always hyped when people get like weapons that stand out for them. So hopefully we get that for everybody. There's still like stuff around upcoming events that I really would like to know, like if Annie's gonna get like a better, like an offensive magic, or she's just gonna have the lying detection ability, because I don't really know that. Like, that's a good plot and utility ability. It's not that good in a fight. But outside of that, we have parts with like, we have a lot of like little lore pieces. We have Donnie and everybody getting healed by Tristan. Like, Percival wasn't able to heal them. He ran out of magic. So I'm guessing the way that really, if you were to fight the main cast, you have to go for Percival last, essentially. You either have to take Percival out immediately or go for his friends, because, you take out his friends, he can't get hope from them, then, his power is limited to whatever he's at. Whereas I feel like if you thought about it, Percival is like one of those, like, he's a battery, like one of those batteries that will get charged just from being near something. I can't remember exactly those, like those pads you just put your phone on. Imagine something like that, where he's just absorbing, maybe not absorbing, like he's converting, like, hope into magic and stuff, but he has to be around them in order to do that. So Percival really, like, he's not the best in a 1v1 fight right now, because like he doesn't really have that much fighting capabilities, and his biggest thing right now is just like the danger of his hero type magic and the whole hope into magic things. He's got, two main character powers that are very tricky, but if you take that away from him, you take, like, you separate him, he's kind of screwed right now. Because, like, the thing about Percival, his biggest weakness is he doesn't have a lot of fighting experience. So if you separate from his friends, it'd be probably really easy to like trick him out and like draining all his magic and then just beating him up. Beyond that, we do see in this chapter the reveal Lancelot and Tristan are members of the Four Knights. We do get hinting at the fourth one at the end, but it seems like he's turned right and left. Again, I assume it's a dude. I don't think they've mentioned it being a chick. I think they've said he. I don't remember. But I don't know. I'm not too sure how I feel about the last one, other than curiosity. I was very interested in seeing Lancelot and Tristan for obvious plot reasons. But there's like still some components left to go. Obviously, we got to find out who this fourth guy is and what's going on with him and everything, of like he's not wanting to cooperate and whatnot. And then like where things are going to go forward from here. I would actually really like it if Nakaba would bring in a couple other countries, and maybe like the cast could go to another arc and train for a little bit. Not like train, but it's like, imagine like a 20 to 30 chapter arc in another country. And we could get like a little bit of their stuff, maybe get like a couple opponents from their side and like a boss character, and maybe like learn about like some of the other powers and stuff from other areas in the world. Because that's something that I like it when series do, but it's always a bummer when they don't. Is like when you have it set in the real world. So like it's not like Naruto, where obviously like everything, the different villages and stuff, they're all fictional lands. But like it's something like Bleach, which Bleach eventually expanded upon, or obviously in this case, Seven Deadly Sins, because they take place pretty much in the real version of Earth, except for the fictional. It's a fantasy-based version, so like they're in Britannia and whatnot. All those still countries and whatnot exist, just like in real life. But like you still know, because of that, all these other countries exist because they exist in real life. So it's like, well, what about all the other people and all the other countries in there? Like the way that they go about doing their ability stuff. We've seen Nanashi, so we know that other countries, it's not like every other country has no powers and no abilities. They can still fight and do their own thing. And I assume they have their own conflict. So we'll see exactly where that's all going to go and what's going to like kind of go down with this. I know this is mostly me kind of like hashing over these last two chapters. They were mostly setup stuff, and there's just some of the stuff I really wanted to kind of go over, and because I want to keep up to date with everything now. I've gotten behind, obviously I was moving and whatnot, but now I have a good opportunity to stay up. So I'm gonna try and keep up on this as well. I'm gonna add some more stuff on there, but like I'm happy that I got like the setup stuff out of the way, and luckily like the next time we're gonna get Fortnite, so we're gonna hopefully at least see what this last guy looks like. I don't need to have everything with him, but I'd like to at least see what the character looks like. Or a chick, or maybe a Gauther-like puppet with no gender. I don't know. We'll see how exactly this goes. It'll be weird if it's a puppet. Mainly because I wonder how a puppet or something like that is born into like a child of prophecy-like position. But anyway, other than that, no, comment below. Thumbs up the video for the like button, subscribe button, check out my other videos. From that, appreciate it. Subscribe, and thank you all for listening. Bye.